On Sunday, we looked at a passage of scripture from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Short passage, and this is what it said. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. And that phrase, the will of God, actually requires a little bit more explanation than what we were able to do on Sunday. A little bit of explanation that was left on the desk. Because there are two senses, at least, in which we can understand the will of God. Just a quick distinction here. When we say God's will, the theologians distinguish between two different ways to think about it. They're both true, but they're not the same. There is God's decretive will. That is his secret divine purpose where he ordains and accomplishes whatever happens. For example, in Psalm 115, verse 3, it says, "Our God is in the heavens. He does whatever he pleases, his will." Or like Paul wrote in Ephesians chapter 1, where he says that all things happen because of the purpose of him who works all things according to the counsel of his will. That's God's decretive will. And in this sense, we can say that everything occurs according to his will, according to his decretive will, what he decrees. And it can't be resisted because what God decrees happens. Now, the other sense is what theologians call God's prescriptive will. And that's what we see Paul talking about in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. This is what God commands. These are his instructions of what we should do, how we're supposed to live. This, as your own life and as the world around us testifies, can be resisted. And this sense of God's will, his prescriptive will, is not always followed. That's the reality of sin. The reality of sin is the rebellion against God's prescriptions, the rebellion against his law, rebelling against his prescriptive will. Now, this can turn into a much, much larger discussion. And let me know if you want to have it or if you want to read more. But let's take a quiz. What Paul is talking about here in 1 Thessalonians 5, when he says, this is the will of God for you, is that his decretive will or his prescriptive will? Well, it's his prescriptive will. It can be resisted. But here's the thing. The specific things that Paul is talking about here, rejoicing always, praying without ceasing, giving thanks in all circumstances, that is what God wants us to do. It's his prescriptive will. But it's only possible for us to be able to do those things, rejoicing always, giving thanks in all circumstances. The only way a Christian is able to do that as part of God's prescriptive will is if we understand and trust and rely upon God's decretive will. In other words, if God is not in the heavens, if he is not in charge of all things, if all things are not working out according to the counsel of his will and his good and right purposes, then we have no basis to rejoice always, and certainly no basis to give thanks in all circumstances. That's what was left on the desk.